Okay, the next action in the Villanova offense is a 4, and it's a slip. Okay, so now we're going to slip the screen. Now I've taught this to 6th grade boys, and they've done it in a game, and they've actually gotten layups off of this, and it works. Okay, and it's not that none of this is, to me, is that sophisticated. You can easily teach your players how to do these things, and they become so much smarter at the game of basketball when you start letting them and teaching them to read this. And we'll go in another video. I'll cover the whole offense and how it's organized and orchestrated and how you can do that. But here's pretty much the rule for this. If we start here and switch on defense, we're going to slip. Okay, we're slipping those screens. So here we go. So we pass. We screen away here. Now, let's say the defender's here, and this defender is somewhere in here when this guy goes. So if they yell switch, this player is going to pick up this player, and he is going to pick up this player. The ball's right there. All right, so where the slip occurs, you can do it a couple different, you can do it different ways, the slip. One way I like to tell my players to do it is, so this guy, let's just say he's going to stand there and wait for this guy to come up. He's going to take him easy peasy. Really, I don't have to do much on defense. I can kind of stand in one spot and guard that kid. So what I tell my players is, when you go to set that screen and you know they're switching and you lose vision of this player, so out of your peripheral vision as you go by and you don't see that player anymore, so I would not see him anymore right here, I'm slipping to the basket. Okay? So they've yelled switch. You know, they're too far apart on their switch. That's not a good switch. How they're doing it there, it opens up the slip. And that's what typically will happen with most defensive teams. They'll switch, and the offense always makes it really easy for them to switch because the offense never slips the screen. And then they just exchange positions on offense is what basically happens. So I love teaching the slip. Again, it's not hard. You can incorporate this into your layups that you work on in practice, your shooting drills, real easy to do. You can do it with 3 people. Pass, slip, fill up, ball goes to that kid for a layup, ball goes to that kid for the shot, pump fake, jump shot, whatever you want to do. And then the other way that you can do the slip. Okay, here we are again. Ball goes over here. Now, this time, let's just say it's the same thing, basically. This defender's kind of over in here waiting. You can go all the way and set that screen. Okay, now on the 4, that player is filling up to the top. Okay, so before on the 2 and the 3, the screener rolled back and filled that spot again. This time on the 4, when we're running 4s, the player that's getting screened for is filling to the top. Now, here's where we can slip. We can let this guy come off. That screen, and as soon as he comes off, then we slip. So that would be like a delayed slip. This would be an early slip. No vision of that defender. There's the other defender. I can go right between them and get to the basket easily. The other way is to come over here, delay, actually set the screen, and then release. And again, even if they switch there, ball went over here again. So even if they switch there, and I set that screen, he comes off, he picks him up, no problem. But look, there's the ball. Defender is not in between the person setting the screen and the basket anymore. So now there's the advantage. That defender is on that offensive player's back. And, you know, we've done this offense, and we've done it well enough where basically everybody sags. You know, you're going to see a 5-out that you run. If you run it well, you're going to see sagging teams. They're not going to come out and guard you because they're so worried. So we see teams that, you know, just basically get into a 2-3 zone on us, and it'll just clog that lane up, which of course that means you got all your perimeter shots wide open. And that's where, you know, I tell my players, you guys got to work on your shooting because you're getting those shots now out here, and you have to knock some down to get people to guard you. You know, and that's going to be true no matter what offense you run. But when you start hitting people with 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s, that's very hard for teams to guard you because they don't ever know what's coming. And then as we get into the organization of this, your ultimate goal would really almost to be just let your players go out and play. And that's what I tell them a lot of times too. Hey, you hear switch, you were slipping. Doesn't matter what was called, you know, we're going to slip. We hear switch, we're slipping immediately. Everybody knows that, and boom, you know, we got somebody cutting to the basket wide open. So that's the 4. Let's take a look at Villanova running 4s. Now, if you'd like to learn the complete 5-out offense from Harry Perretta, just rent these DVDs from our website. Okay, here we're going to see the slip. So she passes, goes to screen away, and then slips off that screen. Now you can see that she was wide open after she did that, but for some reason that girl took the ball and dribbled backwards. But again, set that screen there. The player left her vision that she was screening for, and then she's wide open underneath the hoop. Okay, and I froze it right here because look, the 2 defensive players did not communicate, so they both take the ball and left her to go. And that's one thing I really like about this offense. You got a variety of screens and actions, and the defense is always left guessing typically, especially as you can advance this, and if you can just run it and read it, it's very effective. Now again, here she passes, goes to screen away, and there she's lost vision of the girl guarding her, and now she can just slip right to the hoop, and she's wide open. She doesn't get the ball, but again, that's the kind of opportunities and teaching your kids to read the defense. Oh, I can't see who's guarding me anymore as I'm going to the hoop. I'm just going to slip it. And you can use this in any offense. You don't have to run the Villanova offense here. You know, if you're setting any sort of screens in your offense, add the slip to it. Again, teach your kids the actions, and they can pick this stuff up. It's not that difficult. Okay, here we'll see it again. Pass, screen away, and now the defense is going to switch this time, but as she sets that screen, she gets between the defender and the basketball. So now she's got great post position on this, and she can just stay in there, and they'll make a post entry off of the slip. Be sure to click the link in the description to get your free coaching forms and download them. I'll send them right to your email immediately. Hey, be sure to subscribe to our channel over here. You can also click and rent coaching DVDs through the mail from the best coaches in the game, or you can watch a related video. It's your choice. Go ahead.